Welcome back, guys, to another episode here on Inside FPL in the locker room vibes. So, game week 16 is almost done. One match more to go. That is going to be Monday. That is Manchester United v Bournemouth. So, it's been an interesting weekend altogether. And so far, we have an average of 50 points. So the average is 50 points. So if you are less, you are below that, then you should know you're in trouble. You should find yourself somewhere above, and the highest so far 136. So share in the comments, let us know what you have so far and what you'd be looking out to do to your team heading into game week 17. So before we do get into it, I would like you to kindly hit that subscribe button, share this video, leave a comment. Let's get interactive as we grow this channel together. So as I said, game week 16 is almost done. We still have a match to go, then we wrap everything up. Midweek we would have some cup matches. Then we move to the weekend where we face game week 17. So game week 16 has been very interesting. So we'll look at the fixtures, how they've been so far. Then we also look at how game week 17 is also looking. Then we continue from there. So game week 16 started with Chelsea beating Everton by 2 goals to nil, followed by Liverpool. They did same to Brighton and Hove Albion, beating them by 2 goals to nil. Fulham beat Burnley by 3 goals to 2. Arsenal beat Wolves by 2 goals to 1 in a very keenly contested match. It could have ended in a draw, but thankfully it ended with an Arsenal win. On Sunday, we had Crystal Palace taking on Manchester City, and City beating them by 3 goals to nil. We had Nottingham Forest also doing same against Spurs. They beat Spurs by 3 goals to nil. Then Sunderland, they beat Newcastle by a goal to nil. Then Aston Villa beats West Ham by 3 goals to 2. Then Brentford leads. That was a 1-1 draw. Then that's as I said, we have a match pen, and that is Manchester United v Bournemouth. And let's see how that goes as well, as this week has been interesting. So with the highest, that's how his team is looking. He had Donnarumma, he had Gusto, he had Chaloba, he had Rogers, Wilson. He triple captain Saka, so that was the game changer for him. The triple captain there, but he also had Higo, he had Haaland. So all in all, he had almost all the top performers in his team, and he went ahead to also triple captain Saka. That is a plus. He has Bruno Fernandes, so let's see. He still has some points pending. Let's see how that goes for him as well. As well, then let's go through how some managers or the top managers are looking so far. So the first so far has 89 points. So you can't be first and you'd be clocking very low points. So 89 points. He had Van Dijk, he had Foden. So Foden is one of the top performers so far in the last 2 or 3 game weeks. And he had Rogers, he had Wilson, he had Haaland. So these were the players who gave him the points he needed. Then to the second ranked, second worldwide. So he also had Rogers, Foden, Saka, Haaland. So you could see the constant in Rogers, Foden, Haaland. These players, if you have any of them, you should know you would be doing well. So he had 80 points, number three, 98 points. And he had Gusto, he had Rogers, Foden, Haaland. So the constant Rogers, Foden, Haaland. And he also had Saka. So that is also a plus. He has Bruno Fernandes in the mix. So all in all, you should know that you would need one or two of these players to be able to succeed. As I said, so we just go through the player stats and see how things are looking. So for the game week 16, the top players we have Odoi, followed by Gusto, we have Sangare, we have Wilson, Rogers, Haaland. So these were the players who performed very well for game week 16. But all in all, top performers, Foden leading the charts. So you could see Foden leading the charts so far for game week 16. But it's been very interesting so far. Very interesting. So most transferred in Wilson, you have Higo, you have Foden, Bruno Fernandes, Rogers, Chaloba. Then you'd look at something like influence, creativity. You have Haaland, Bruno. Creativity, you have Bruno, you have Doku. Threat, you have Haaland, Mateta. So that is how it was looking. Most selected: Haaland, Semenyo, Thiago, Foden, Timber, players and form. So as usual, as I say, if you don't really know, just focus on the most transferred in, and you should be good to go. You focus on the most selected, a few of them, you should be good to go. Add a little of the other stats, and you should be good to go. And that is how it was looking for the play. That is how it's looking for the player stats. So the fixture difficulty rating, how the fixtures are going to come in over the next 2 to 3 game weeks. So you should take notes that we have the Christmas festivities coming, which means the fixtures are going to be a little bit packed for the teams. So if you have 20th December, 26th December, so that is 6 days. Then 4 days time they play again, that is 30th. Then about 4 days again they play the 3rd January, 3 days they play January 6th. So it's going to be a packed fixture from game week 17 to somewhere game week 21. So all in all, you should be very structured with how your team looks. So heading to game week 17, of course, we'll give you some tips on some teams to consider, but just be looking at it based on the FDR, on the teams with the easy matches. You could consider a few. If it's even hard, one or two teams, you could still have some constants in there, because you know they if anything is to come, they would provide the goods for you, and you should be good to go. So far, I provided 8-1. My team, I had Riley, Wilson, Saka, Rogers, Higo. So I didn't have Haaland. As I said, for the first half of the season, I'm not going to buy Haaland. And so far, I've made it this far without Haaland. Let's see how far I'm going to go till the first half of the season. You should also note, if you've not used your chips, you have just about 2 game weeks before we head into game week 19. That will be like the half points of the season, where all chips will be renewed, after game week 19, after which all chips will be renewed. So try to use a few of the chips you have before we head into that time of the season. So that is how it's looking so far. We hope for the best heading into game week 17. Let's see how it goes for some managers, and we hope to see you in game week 7. Now our preview analysis for game week 17. Stay connected, subscribe, like.